So give us some insight into how your business has been doing since the pandemic.
Yes, PatSnap has been doing okay around the world. So we provide innovation intelligence to our customer, basically helping them to map out their R&D roadmap for the next few years. And so far, business is fine.
So where are you getting most of your business from, especially when it comes to R&D investments?
Yes. Actually, for us, our market is where there are a lot of R&D expenditure and investment. Globally, it will be US, China, Japan, Germany, and so on. Yep.
Do you see any shifts in that dynamic, perhaps arising from the pandemic?
No, actually, the R&D expenditure has been quite consistent for the last couple of years. Of course, one main trend will be Asia, and specifically China. Their R&D expenditure has been growing quite quickly.
Where are your biggest priorities then, geographically?
As mentioned, where there are a lot of R&D investment, those are our main markets. So US is definitely our biggest market, and secondly will be Asia, specifically China, and Europe, as for example, Germany market as well.
So what's your plan for expansion in those markets?
Yeah, we will continue to invest to have more market presence, as well as products specifically localized for the local market. Because from our experience in the last couple of years operating in different market, I think customer nowadays really asking for very localized product that have the local user interface, user experience. So that is something we will continue to invest in.
Do you see, I'm curious how the pandemic has affected your business and what you say is the R&D boom.
Yes, in fact, actually, even with pandemic, fortunately enough for us, our business still continue to grow globally year on year. And I think that is due to a couple factors. When I spoke to our customer, first, for big, large enterprise customer, to them, actually, their R&D landscape or outlook, they are looking at 3 to 5 years. So it won't be because of a potential downturn in a year, they will change their R&D strategy for the next 3 to 5 years. And secondly, also because of pandemic, even more so they need to invest in and innovating in new services and new product offering because of the changes in a lot of consumer behavior, in a lot of the market dynamics. So innovation is more important for them, and they have to invest in that. And because of that, even more so, they need our tools to understand the landscape, what is going on.
There's a narrative here in the U.S. that perhaps Washington is falling, Washington, Silicon Valley, all of these private companies, as well as the government, is falling behind when it comes to R&D research. The World Economic Forum just a few years back said that China displaced the U.S. as the world's top research publisher in science and engineering. Do you see any of that playing out in your business?
I will say on a high level, in terms of even including patent filings, China is definitely leading now since a few years ago. But I think innovation come in different flavor, different aspect. I think in terms of absolute number, yes, maybe China is leading in several fronts. But from our understanding, analyzing it, China patents, at least in terms of patents filing, they are mostly on application innovation, on incremental innovation, while US and the rest of the world still holding a lot of key foundational technology patents. So we do have to deep dive in different area, different sector to really kind of have a better perspective on who has a better edge in technology.
When you say China is leading in all of these patents, there's a perception in Washington, at least, that perhaps China is launching in this creation of an alternative technological order, that this is why they're systematically trying to get all of these patents, all of their companies to come together and have a unified industrial policy. Do you see something like that on the ground?
From our experience, we do see China have a strong industrial policy that drive a consistent strategy. Yes, that is what we feel when for our team in China.